Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Weasel and today we're playing Plague Inc. Evolved, a game available on Steam in early access, and this game is all about disease, viruses, fungus, all the nasty stuff that is out there, all the germs that make you sick, which is a perfectly fitting game for me being still a little bit sick and trying to fight off a stupid fever, which, you know, like, is probably something really scary usually, you know. Like, it's never only fever, it's something totally deadly. Probably not. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. I'm about to show you this game, and we're just gonna jump into single-player mode. Multiplayer is not available, but they do want to implement that, and I'm really curious about that. A few of you might know that game already, or have played a similar game available on Made in Flash. I think it's called Pandemic. Might be wrong, though. And yeah, this game is available on Steam right now, and we're just gonna jump into the main game. You have a selection of different things to do, like this speedrun where you can see how fast you can wipe out the entire Earth, official scenarios, and custom scenarios. Well, those are not available yet, and of course the tutorial. But I'm going to try to explain the game as best as I can. Okay, so let's go to main game, where you get pretty much a selection of different viruses or bacteria, you know, that you can select from. You start off with a bacteria, which is the most common cause of plague, has unlimited potential, meaning it can evolve into anything. A virus is rapidly mutating, and fungus, you know, they have all different play styles to them. Like a fungus in this case has a really hard time traveling, so you have to, you know, keep that in mind. And I've been struggling to finish that level for quite some time. We're gonna go into bacteria, just the very first one, because it's very balanced and it's not too hard to win, I think. So we're just gonna modify our genetic code from the beginning. This is something you unlock. The more you play, the more stuff you will unlock, so you have a better starting point or can modify your little guy or your little disease. So in this case, insert gene and ATP boost. ATP boost is something I unlocked, which gives you bonus DNA at the beginning. I unlocked that by winning the virus game, I think. Darwinist will increase the chance of my plague mutating, which is a good thing because that adds usually symptoms without me spending any DNA points. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You have 3 more slots, but yeah, Terracite, what does this one do? Oh, increases the chance of plague spreading by land. Let's insert that. Nothing wrong with adding those, and you can eventually, you know, create the perfect starting ground for the different scenarios, which all differ, which is quite interesting and adds a lot to the game. It's not only one game mode. Okay, so we got our little guy here. We're gonna continue, and you can select game difficulty, which very widely. It really changes the whole game. Casual is really easy. No one washes their hands. Research doctors don't work, meaning, you know, there's no you only have to make sure that your people don't die before they're all infected. And yeah, sick people given hugs. They hug. In normal, you know, they are ignored. And yeah, the harder you get, the harder it becomes, of course. Brutal, compulsive hand washing, doctors never go home, or mega brutal, which I haven't played. But yeah, for players who thought brutal was casual, I don't even know if you can mega brutal, if you could win there. We're gonna go with normal. Sorry, I'm just going on here. Also, oh yeah, you can also unlock cheats. That's a thing. But I haven't unlocked any there of these. What you have to do is currently log complete all diseases on Mega Brutal to unlock, and things like that. You have to unlock the game, which really motivates me personally to keep playing. This one is called Weasel 6, but I think I'm at Weasel 16 or 17 by now. That's how you can name viruses. You can give it any name. In this case, I'm gonna go with Weasel 17. I finished yesterday with Weasel 16. As I said, I struggle a lot with the fungus one, but I know how to beat that one by now. But yeah, welcome to Plague Inc. You are a new bacteria. To win, you must evolve and spread across the world, wiping out all humans in the ultimate plague. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna select a country where we're gonna start, which really is a big difference. You can start in Madagascar, or you can start in, which is usually really hard to get, or something like Germany. We're gonna start in Germany. It's in the middle of Europe. It has a harbor and I think open borders, is that what they say? And airports, which do help you to infect the rest of the world. And there are different ways to go at it, but first of all, we're starting. So let's go quickly over the interface. Infected at first human, weak and used to cold temperatures. It must evolve using DNA points to infect more people. Alright, so in upper left corner you have news, which are mildly interesting, but it can be ignored for most of the part. In the upper right corner you have the date and the speed up controls, the speed controls, which you can also control with space 1 and 2 and 3. And in the lower right corner you see the world cure meter, meaning how close the world is getting to a cure. They will start to start their cure when they, you know, like see that your infection is a problem. If you're actually killing humans, they will start developing something along those lines. The disease is pretty much how many DNA points you have. I have 8 DNA points to spend. We're going to talk about that. And then we have the country, where it says how many infected and how many are dead. You can also click in the water and see the whole world telling you how many infected are dead. And you can click on a lot of countries. Not every country is in here. You have something like Central Europe, which consists of several countries in this case, but it's nice that we can select those. Okay, so much stuff happening. So I just clicked a disease point. Whenever you infect a new country or something else happens along those lines, you will get disease points, which give you, when you click them, a DNA bonus. This DNA bonus you can use to evolve your plague. Currently I'm running on normal speed. And as you can see, it slowly starts to, you know, we start to infect people. But we're very slow at that. We're not very infectious right now. Okay, so let's have a look at our disease. Let's open it up. If we click here, we open up the disease window, giving us some stats about our disease, the trend, how infected, and about our infectivity, severity, and lethality. Currently, we're not really severe, and we're barely infective. Also, our lethality is at 0, so meaning we will not kill anyone, which is good in the beginning. Keep in mind, if you start killing people, humans will start to develop a cure, which will make it harder for you to win this game. Anyway, so we got transmission, symptoms, and abilities. Overview, you can't do anything, it just shows you what happens, how you look like, and what not. So transmission is pretty much, before I go into that, you have different things you can unlock. By clicking on it, it will tell you what it does, and it will tell you how much it costs. So pretty much you can spend, I have 16 DNA points right now, and I can spend it for, let's say in this case, on bird 1, which means that birds become susceptible to infection, and you know, they will carry it around land, you know, through birds. Our disease will spread through birds. Or I can make it easier to go over air, to travel on dust particles, or through water. Needles, or blood in this case, not needles, sorry. Insects, rodents, and sheep. Then we have the symptom screen, where we can set, you know, different kind of symptoms that our plague has, which affects infectivity, severity, and lethality. And we move, you know, the more we research, the more things get unlocked that we can build off on. But for now, we're not going to do that. And then we have abilities, which pretty much define how good or how well a bacteria or fungus or a virus does in, say different climates, in this cold resistance, heat resistance, or general bacterial resilience. Or we can say drug resistance, for example, that our pathogen becomes resistant to class 1 and class 2 antibiotics, meaning that in wealthy countries we spread easier. For now, I'm actually going to increase the transmission, let's say over livestock. Let's go through livestock, and I have 9 points left. I'm gonna, you know, spend them on a general bacterial resilience. I like that. And we now speed it up and see DNA points popping up. Those are random and give you more points, as I said. You also gain points just by affecting more people, and as you can see, we're at 10 people now. It's not a lot. We're getting there, and what I really like is you can see all the planes and boats going around. We're not infective, so we're not infecting any other countries for now. But I like these points popping up. The more people you infect, the faster it becomes, of course, because, you know, it's exponential. Okay, so let's make sure that we are a little bit more effective. Let's go with air. Let's go through air. And then we might want to do resilience to class 1 and class 2 antibiotics, considering that we are in a wealthy country in the wealthy Western world. Weasel 17 has mutated and developed a nausea symptom without using DNA points. Yes, this happens randomly and gives you, without spending DNA points, in this case, the nausea one, which increases severity, definitely, and infectivity, which is nice. Sometimes you don't want that, so you can devolve something. Let's say your disease is so severe that humans notice it in the beginning and start developing a cure early on. You want to avoid that. You want to stay under the radar. You want to infect more people, and then, like the Trojan horse, you want to, you know, like sneak into their lives and then eventually become deadly. Alright, so let's go with, I think class 1 and class 2 antibiotics resilience would be great. And as you can see, we're like, it's moving much faster, 63, 70. It's not a whole lot considering like there are a few billion people in the world, but it's nice to see that we're getting there. And also I like this little graph down here. This is like a quick overview. It tells you this changes, this window here, this little preview changes when there are riots or something going on. And there's some random news. North Korea rescues space stations. Sometimes they're completely irrelevant. Sometimes they do influence the gameplay by, let's say, there has been a earthquake somewhere, and that decreases, you know, or increases the likelihood for your plague to spread there. For now, we're doing really well. Or we're doing, you know, we're starting off, we have 1,000, and we have 14 points to spend, so we're gonna go to transmission and make it transferable over water. Spend 1 point there. And I'm just running this in super high speed because in the beginning it takes some time and you have to stay patient and just, you know, wait for it to play. It will become really fast eventually. Also with the mouse wheel you can, oh, look at this. We infected another country. Okay, let's click that. We infected Central Europe. One person is infected and that's all it needs. As soon as you are in a country, you are in the country. Of course, what you gotta keep in mind that if your bacteria, for example, your virus or pathogen is not, you know, cold resistant, it will have a hard time, you know, spreading through Greenland. Also, once a human is infected in this game, he does not become uninfected unless there's a cure. You know, this pathogen, this virus does not cure itself. Usually it would do that, I guess, but once a human is infected, he stays infected, no matter what, no matter the time. So Weasel has mutated and developed an anemia symptom without using DNA points. That is nice, and as you can see, we're at like 250,000 by now, after like a few months. So we're gonna spend a little bit more on even more spread. I like to, you know, transmission. Gives organism the ability to spread through blood-to-blood contact, increases infectivity, especially in poor regions and mutation chance. Nothing we want yet since we are in a wealthy country. I think I might go for an early genetic hardening, which makes it hard for the humans to research a cure for our, you know, pathogen. So we're gonna do that. London Olympic mystery. Mystery still surrounds the decision to postpone the London Olympics. Yeah, probably because of the disease. These are like wild card events that happen. Sometimes it's a championship, and sometimes it's actually quite funny. I've seen news where antibiotics given to the football player that was bitten by Suarez. If you know what I mean. There are some newer things happening, which is quite adorable. Some news. Okay, let's have a quick look over here. Okay, we're getting these DNA points all over the place. I'm pausing with pressing the spacebar, by the way, so we have a chance to hit that. As you can see, there are dots on the water, meaning that a ship infected with the pathogen like crossed over the water and made its way to Russia. And I hope that eventually a plane... Oh yeah, actually, we infected the US, which is great, meaning we are on another continent. You want to get... You want to infect every continent as early as possible, obviously, but you want to make sure that you get like things like Madagascar, New Zealand, and any other island. Islands are really hard to get, or Greenland for that matter. So, or Iceland. You want to get those because even if you spread across the whole world and Madagascar decides to, you know what, we're gonna close our harbor without anyone infected, you will really have a hard time to make your way there. You might not be able to get to Madagascar, and they will develop a cure, and you know, you lose the game. You have to kill every single one. Even if one person survives, you did not win the game. So that's important to keep in mind. So we're just gonna keep speeding up. And yeah, these lines are air travel, so they will fade out over time, but right now. It's nice to see that we infected the US and more countries. Wherever a DNA point pops up, that's usually a good indication that now this country has been infected. We have 17 points, so I'm gonna spend those on birds to help spread it across the land. We have cattle already, but birds have a chance to spread to, let's say, something like Madagascar when they, you know, fly north, fly south, whatever. Where birds go, you know, they like to go everywhere. And there we have it. New minor disease spreading. In a normal checkup, a doctor in Germany found a new disease which has been named WeaselZone. It appears to be most harmless but must be investigated further. Other countries are reporting the issue, meaning we are on the radar. And I'm clicking now the world thing. World. WeaselZone has been spotted, and this is like a nice overview about what's going on. Here we see which country has been infected. Red shows infected countries, blue is non-infected. Also we have country states, in this case, here it shows which ones are affected and which ones are dead, meaning which country has been wiped clean. That will happen a lot where you wipe clean a country and most of the other countries will still be there. This one up here, I haven't really looked at it. The global priority level is at 0 because it just has been spotted. I think this one says, yeah, the land border status. Yeah, exactly. How many land borders are open, how many ports open, how many airports are open or closed, respectively. And the cure, how far they are currently, what the potential is, etc. You have some other indicators you can turn off and turn on here. For example, which one is this exactly? Toggle hot countries. All right, so these are all hot countries, so you want to make sure that if you want to spread through these, you want a heat resistance. Same goes, I guess, with cold, and these are the cold countries. We're having a good time spreading through here, so I'm not too worried about that. Anyway, I'm closing that off now, and we still want it not to be severe. The more severe this thing comes, the more lethal you become, the harder they will research to, you know, find a cure. So just, you know, don't go crazy with that in the beginning. Well, it depends on your gameplay. Maybe you want to, but if you kill your humans faster than you infect them, you will also lose, because you will pretty much wipe out yourself. Imagine a disease where you only live for 24 hours. That is only 24 hours where a human can make contact with other humans. So, first of all, you know, you will just wipe yourself out. It's not efficient. You want to make sure that you infect as many humans, get some value out of your host here, to infect many more, you know. And once everyone is infected, you can go crazy. Germany is first instructed to begin research into a cure. All right. It's expected to take a long time without further funding. I don't think we're that severe that they need to research, but that's not my they're smart by doing that. So what we can do is we can improve on our genetic reshuffle. More work, need to develop a cure. We could throw that in, or we can make sure to spread faster for now. I'm gonna go with spreading faster. I'm gonna go with insects, hot climates, and chance of mutation. So that is nice, hopefully spreading in the hotter regions. 13 points, I can do something with that, I'm pretty sure. Yes, more resilience in all climates. Gonna throw that in. Want to be as resilient as possible. And I like when all these dots pop up. That looks so cool. And I kind of have to pay a little bit of attention. This is like a little bit annoying to click these all the time, but then again, it keeps you occupied, and it's also a good indication that, for example, we infected now Greenland, which, as you can see, is like super slow when it comes to infecting, because our bacteria is not very resilient in the cold weather. So we want to do something with that. We might throw that in, and this one costs us 16 points from hot climate, so we're gonna wait until we reach 16 points, and then we're gonna research that to make sure we also spread well in hot climates. So that should speed up the process in Greenland. And hopefully in the other countries. I'm not too worried here. For example, everyone in Germany, Poland, and even the Ukraine is fully infected. Russia, everyone is infected. And charities are holding WeaselZone Awareness Days. Alright. The WeaselZone Awareness Day, that's lovely. Okay, look. It's exponential. Now it's going really fast. All these little red dots appearing. That's glorious. A vomiting symptom without using DNA points. Okay, here's the thing. I might want to devolve that. The thing, it is severe. It increases the severity. No, not lethal yet. The thing is, I might want to devolve that at this point so they cure less. Or I could as well, you know, throw some money or DNA points into something like the genetic reshuffle. Or the resistance? It's a good question. You don't want to spend all your DNA points because eventually you will not get new ones. So you have to make sure to keep a good balance between severity and abilities, or symptoms in this case. So I think I'm gonna go with water 2. Hopefully that will help us get to something like Madagascar. You can see these red boats and red planes flying everywhere. They hold the plague, but a boat needs to go into Madagascar that is infected to infect this. Heavy flooding has occurred in Korea. Exactly. That slows down the world effort. Let's have a quick look at that. So 1 year and 159 days until completion. That is cure. That is bad. Key research contributed. Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. So we want to get rid of those, obviously, which might be hard to do by hand. I mean, you can only indirectly influence your, well, little guys, but for now, I want to slow that down. I feel like we are not at the best spot for this, so let's decrease the future research speed. Let's do that. Now it takes 2 years and 48 days. That's good. Let's get all these DNA points. You don't want to miss out on these. And eventually you will also have to destroy pretty much like research bubbles popping up. Then we will have some blue planes and blue boats going around, and wherever they land they will show blue bubbles pretty much that you have to pop. Because at one point humans will decide, okay, we gotta take care of this. So now we got a lot of DNA points that we can spend. Currently we have a problem spreading around Africa. Madagascar is infected, so that's glorious. Canada is infected. I think every country by now should be infected, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, looks good. Every country is infected, so Central Africa, I think Algeria and Morocco. Yeah, they're having a hard time, so let's do over air, and I might even do extreme aerosol. But let's invest something into some delicious symptoms, because I feel confident that I feel that we need to do that. So some coughing is nice. In high density urban areas, we don't have many of those, I guess, anymore, but why not? Insomnia. I like insomnia, makes people less productive, but increases severity a lot. It's not lethal, so lethality comes later. For example, here, pulmonary edema. Potential fatal heart abnormality causes breakdown of the respiratory system, releasing pathogen into air. It's actually quite interesting, and I think we're gonna go along those lines. Pulmonary fibrosis. That sounds fun. And a total organ failure. We're gonna keep that. We're not gonna do that, but I want to research more of that lung stuff. And we have now sneezing and pneumonias. Okay, pneumonia. That's it. You don't say the P. Someone taught me that recently. Pneumonia. Okay, there we go. UK leading global cure effort. They are starting to send now planes. This one. This little blue one is the plane that you want to pop. Okay, there it is. You pop it, and that decreases the research speed. So make sure. USA shutdowns airports so they don't spread it around anymore. Really. Every country is now infected, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a quick look. Nope, except Morocco and Algeria. But we can travel over land, so that's not too hard. But yeah, USA is pretty much boned with like already... Oh, actually people are dying now. Yeah, it gets severe. As you can see, 2 million, 3 million. It happens really fast, considering that we have most of the world infected by now. So, I think I'm gonna do something with... oh, it does the diarrhea symbol. Diarrhea symptom. There we go. That gives you usually a combo and an achievement, because now you're vomiting and you have diarrhea, so it comes out of, you know, every hole pretty much. Fun times. We're gonna go heat resistance. I want to give it a little bit easier time to spread across like these hot lands, and make sure that the infectability is high. Infectivity, there we go. And we infected Morocco, wonderful. Okay. So everyone is now focused. The world is now working on that. 160 days, that is not enough, so let's make sure we throw in some more work to develop a cure. Let's do that. Let's throw that in. And let's wait a little bit. Okay, 36, it got reduced, that's good. We have a little bit more time, meaning we have 207 days. Sorry, I'm clicking really fast now. Immune suppression, let's do that. Severity is higher. Abilities, we're not gonna touch that now. I worry that we're not infecting fast enough here. Sneezing and diarrhea are causing unwanted accidents, lowering productivity and drawing attention. Yes, now the whole world is already focusing, so that's okay. I think they will have a cure by the end of this year, actually. Yeah. So, we have half a year left. But as you can see, infection is going really well. Let's get rid of those points. Let's have a quick look. Okay, we have a few people left that are not infected. Has mutated, developed a fever symptom without using DNA points. That is great. Let's hope that Morocco gets infected quickly. Angola gets infected quickly. That's good, 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 good. I think we soon have everyone infected on the world. WeaselZone had its genome fully sequenced by scientists who researchers say that this is the breakthrough that will cure efforts. Okay, that increases the speed drastically 2 months earlier, so we're definitely gonna... Hopefully, that takes us 30 points. I don't know if we can make it, guys. I don't know if we can make it. We're not severe enough. We infected everyone, but... Okay, the last healthy person has been infected. So now our goal is not to spread infection anymore, but it is to be lethal. Okay, that means transmission, we can actually devolve here and get points. If I click this and click devolve, we don't need to spread anymore. Everyone is sick at this point. Everyone has the disease. In real life, of course, you know, a mutation is only at a few points. Not every single thing is infected, but that's fine. I'm actually gonna increase the severity, hopefully increasing the incidence, deaths. Okay, this cost 35, most of our stuff, but it really ramps up the like lethality, so we're gonna go with that. Hopefully it does the trick. And we're just gonna let it run and see if we maybe get a few more points, but I doubt it. Finland begins to break down. Yeah, anarchy. Okay. We're doing quite well. We are still getting points, which is making me happy because of all the deaths. 75% left, but people are dying. Okay, let's make sure to not let them research. And this one costs 29 points. A coma. I would love to put people into a coma. That's only a thing you say in this game. Which one? You see, you have these bars down there, so you can see what's more lethal. I like, well, dysentery. Everyone dies of dysentery if you played Oregon Trail, so making sure that... Yes, this looks very good. This looks very good. The more people die, the less people, you know, can research. Alright, I think we might do this. Zimbabwe is first to fall anarchy into... because of Weasel 17. And we got a lot of points because all the people are dying. Wonderful. Insanity is nice, but it doesn't kill anyone. Let's go with everything that kills people. Okay. It should do the trick. Research should be slowed down dramatically. We should have our first dead countries by now. Let's have a quick look on the world map. Nope. Everyone has still a few citizens, a few healthy citizens. But that's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. We have only, 50 million people left. We are winning this. Coughing and vomiting are all causing the infected to project vomit, increasing the infectivity of Weasel 17. That's nice. Not that we need that anymore. But yeah. 20 points. You know, we could even like make it a little bit more hypersensitivity. Yeah, because they really need that right now. Alright, we won this round. This was wonderful. This was a really good introduction. I hope you guys, that was helpful for you. It gets really hard. The fungus level is really tricky, where you have to, you know, like, make sure you infect everyone, but it isn't that easy like with this one. Destroyed the world despite the world's best efforts. The last few humans lie dying in holes with no chance of survival. Wonderful! We destroyed the world. Weasel kills the world. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. This makes me happy. And I hope that I'm getting past my cold very soon, and that it's not getting severe. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This was Plague Inc. Evolved. It is available on Steam, Early Access. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like. Feel free to subscribe, share it with your friends. I'm Weasel. I'm out, and I hope to see you around.